think there's so much buzz around the stock now. I'm always very wary of stocks that have everybody talking to it. Like if I get a message from my grandmother asking me about TransJam, normally my inclination is to sell. My inclination will be to sell. Because if this reach my grandmother, bro, like if all eyes on it and think, yeah, man, I'm out. I'm usually, yeah, 9 times out of 10, I know I'm at the peak.
Who is, man?
What's the overall market looking like?
Who bought $211 million at 12, Thaon? Was it you? In the last month, it's up 50%. In 3 months, it's up 75%. 6 months, 104%.
Year to date, 160%.
Yeah. Last year, there was an investor briefing for TransJam that I went to. And I had bought shares either on that day or I can't remember, it was maybe a few days before. And it was like on a account I don't really use as much. It was Moneyline. Yeah. And then I logged in recently. And then it's like I just saw it. I was like, it was up 160%. I was like, nah, I clicked sell, bro. I clicked sell. I was like, nah, this nothing wrong with realizing some profit.
TransJamaica Highway has been one of the hottest stocks on the JSE this year. The stock is up roughly 160% year to date. Millions of dollars worth of shares have been changing hands, and investors are clearly paying attention. But the thing is, the stock price run isn't even the only big story. What if I told you like TransJam could soon hand shareholders maybe somewhere in the region of 4 billion Jamaican dollars in cash? That's about like 25 million US in potential dividends. And if that happens, we could be looking at the biggest dividend TransJam has ever paid. But after that 160% run in the stock price, we have to ask other questions too. How high can this stock actually go? How much of that is already priced in? So today we're breaking down the rally, the potential dividend, what's driving all this investor interest, and whether TransJam has room to run. Welcome back, Limit Breakers. I'm Dr. Thaon Simms, and welcome back to another episode of the Limitless Podcast, where we make money, markets, and big ideas simple. As always, I'm joined with our co-host, Dr. Matthew Preston. Hail up the people, and hail up the Limit Breakers, Preston.
Hey guys, what's good?
And today, as I said, we're asking a simple question, Preston. How high can TransJam go? I think everyone wants to know. So let's dive right in.
Just open up your crystal ball. Or dust off your crystal ball.
Dust off the crystal ball and say, 100 in the next 10 years. Not true. Oh gosh, but seriously though, like what an amazing stock, what an amazing run. I mean, we've been covering TransJam for a while now, years in fact, just speaking about its potential from, I guess, IPO price was $1.35, I think, and just to see it hit $12, I think, I don't know what the 52
no, $1.41.
$1.41, sorry. Yes, my bad. Yeah. $1.41. And to see it hit $12.93 is the high. And that was last week.
Yeah.
And of course, we're recording this.
751%.
Wow.
Yeah. 751 since listing, which was March 2020. Yeah. It's a bit over 6 years, but yeah, still a lot.
Still quite a bit. I mean, you're not really getting that in a savings account, are you?
Yeah. And I think the other thing is that it's even more impressive if you look at when it started running, because for years it kind of just stayed at a certain level up till about 2023, and then they did the restructuring, cut the costs heavily, And then that's really, because if you look at it really from 2023 to now, which is like 3 years, that's really the biggest gain. So I think that was also kind of a lesson on timing too.
That's true.
Yeah, you could have bought it in 2020, but then you would have sat in it for, I mean, it depends, I guess, on your situation. Because if you're someone who, I guess you have cash flow and stuff, like you can buy over time, then it's good. But if you're someone who you don't really have that much cash flow like that, and you have just like a lump sum, then it's like, what would have allowed you to see that, hey, the business is going to change, and then go in like late 2022, when I think they had announced it, or even early 2023. I feel you had months after they had announced the restructuring. Yeah.
And look at it now. I remember it moving 2023. You remember those days, and we thought we were late to the stock because it moved from $1.40 to like $2, almost $3, and we're like, Jano, we're late. It's like we're cussing, or just like, and we saw this from a long time, and we called it, and we just never buy it, and all of those things. Imagine, hindsight is such a funny thing, isn't it? It's literally such a funny thing, because I remember it trading almost at $3 in that year, and I was just like, you know what, might be too late to buy, but then it dipped. And now look at it at $12. Insane behemoth of a stock. And the funny part is, even way after that, I mean, the offer for sale was 2 years ago, 2024.
No, last year, 2025.
Literally 1 year ago, it was $3.75, the offer for sale, where the government started to sell.
No, it wasn't 360.
It was.
I think it was 360.
Oh,
I'm in my head 360.
I don't know why I have 375. I can check it, but I remember it was the Prime Minister that announced it.
Yeah.
And
360
at that time, 360.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it was 360. It was definitely 360. No, I'm seeing 360 here for sure.
Okay.
Even lower price, I remember 375, because I think that's the price I was buying at the portfolio. Yeah, and boy, this rise. So, I mean, it's 2026 now. A lot of brand new investors, etc. I mean, I'm seeing this stock all over social media, Twitter. Have people come to you asking you about TransJam?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
I think
people have come
that's
to
one of
me.
the interesting parts, because it's like people who don't even like really med stocks or investing. In some ways, that it brings back memories in terms of like even something like Fesco. Like I remember when Fesco, when the market went into a frenzy and really loved Fesco, when it flew up to like $8 something. Like I remember that my friend, who his mom, who doesn't even invest, it's like his mom came up to him and was like asking him, "Oh, you hear about Fesco?" And I guess at that time, I mean, you'll never know it's the top till after, but like I remember after, like looking back, I realized that was the top. That was when it reached peak. Like everybody knew it. Like everybody who wanted to buy had it. So I guess that kind of like when I realized, okay, this is starting to happen with TransJam, where people who don't even invest are talking about it. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, TransJam." I guess I was wondering, I was like, is this the top? Like, would you buy at 12 now?
You're talking me, Thaon Simms?
No, you, John Brown.
If I was John Brown, and my investment goal is long term and so on, then why not buy at 12? I think at this price, it's still not a bad price. That's number one. Two,
what does that
the
mean,
PE,
though?
meaning in terms of if you're looking at, so
what, dividend investor?
No, the problem with John Brown is I'm gonna be hypothetical. All right, I'm not gonna be myself. This is the average.
Why not?
Investor. Because
no, I asked you. I want to know you.
Me?
Like, would you
Would
buy
I
at
buy
12?
it at 12?
Or
I don't
have
know.
you bought at 12?
No, I haven't bought at 12.
Oh,
My average price is still pretty low.
so you haven't
But
sold then?
no, I haven't sold. No, I have a
Okay.
grandfather portfolio, you know. And so TransJam is definitely in that grandfather portfolio. I should be buying more. I haven't DCA'd that grandfather portfolio in a few months. DCA is dollar cost average, meaning, you know, I'm just buying the stock at whatever price it is at regular intervals. And it's been a few months since I've done that for TransJam in that portfolio. But would I buy, all right, Thaon Simms, would I buy at this price? I don't see why not, bro.
At
I don't
12.
see why not.
Okay.
I mean, the PE at 12 is what, 22? And it's not like we really meds PE too hard. And PE is price to earnings ratio. It's just one of those valuation things, how you value stocks, etc. And at 22 times earnings isn't bad at all, right? Especially for the company, like a company like this, where it's a simple business model. You know, they collect toll, which is all cash, and they pay out a lot of cash as dividends, and they're increasing profits every year. And you know, I
so
just
you
think
think in 1 month, do you think it's gonna be above 12 or below 12?
We are in early August now.
That's 1 month, knowing that they're going to
when is their next dividend?
So I think last year they considered it September 4th. So we're recording mid-August, so that's in about a little over 2 weeks. And then it'll take them about a week to declare it.
Let me take a look and see. Because I definitely think it would still be higher. And there are a ton of reasons for it. If they do consider the dividend is likely going to be higher. Sorry, when they consider the dividend, clearly, because you shine out, you shine out your crystal ball, you know. You know, because they don't have to pay a dividend.
I mean, I would love if they didn't pay the dividend, but I don't think that's going to happen. Like, can you imagine that?
They have no reason to not pay a dividend, you know?
Can you imagine that? What? TransJamaica Highway saying they're not going to declare a dividend. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Why, you think the stock would still fall?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure how much the stock would fall, even if I don't even know if it would fall if they said they're not paying a dividend September coming. Because the reason... So one of the things that I have to look at is the buyers and the sellers of TransJam, right? Like, who's buying, who's selling?
Yeah, who is buying?
What's the overall market looking like?
Who bought $211 million at 12, Thaon? Was it you?
Look at those volumes,
who bought $133 million at 12.11.
Yeah. 200 million traded. People said the JSE isn't liquid, but one day over $200 million is being traded for this stock. Just one stock. You can't say the JSE is not liquid when you look at stocks like this. And the average, like even on an average day for for July, I'm looking at the lowest traded day in July, and I believe it's the 23rd of July, and basically the value was 20 mil that was traded that day, and the highest we're looking at is like the same 200 mil. So, you know, like an average day is looking like 50 mil traded. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's so much buzz around the stock now. I'm always very wary of stocks that have everybody talking to it. Like if I get a message from my grandmother asking me about TransJam, normally my inclination is to sell. My inclination will be to sell. Because if this reach my grandmother, you know, bro, like if all eyes on it and think, yeah, man, I'm out. I'm usually, yeah, 9 times out of 10, I know I'm at the peak. I should be out of this. So that's something that people would probably be.
Your grandmother message you about BAIC or bike?
No. We're not sell bike. Bike is actually doing very well. Funny enough, I looked on it recently, and I think it's up for me 70%. Yeah. But in terms of TransJam, though, it's so difficult to judge. But you're talking. Let's go back to the original thing, because I'm moving all over the place. The original question is: would I buy now at this price, expecting greater value in a month? I'm gonna likely say yes because of the dividend. And we should probably get into the dividend aspect, because I don't invest for dividends, but a nice dividend isn't bad, and a lot of people do invest for dividends. So if you're telling me that a company is just paying more and more out in dividends to shareholders, I think that would attract a lot of demand, and a lot of people would want to buy this stock. And I'm not talking people like me and you.
$200 million worth?
Yeah. Because, you think it's just me and you alone buying?
What's the average income of a Jamaican?
I'm sure I saw a lot of broker-linked orders. Maybe some pension funds are buying this too, because even at this price, I think pension funds have to think longer term. They're not looking for quick flips at all. They're looking, how well will this company perform over the next 10, 20, 30 years kind of vibe. Their time horizons are much longer. So when you think about an infrastructure company like TransJamaica Highway, where the business model is simple, well-run company. I was driving on the highway Friday, and they're always maintaining that. I see them, putting on a fresh sheet of asphalt and so on for different legs. And they might get more toll revenue, because I just saw the proposed toll increases. I'm not sure if it's been enacted already, if that's the right word. But tolls should increase soon. I don't think it did yet, because I think my toll, let me actually check my toll. Let me go my T tag. I don't think toll increased yet, but there are proposals for it to increase. And if toll is increasing, you're at least beating inflation, you'd hope. So what's there to stop this price from keep going up? No, toll is the same. Yeah, it's the same. $780 at Vineyards, $260 at Maypen. Yeah.
So you think the pensions? You're more betting that the pensions, when they see that, or the institutions, when they see that TransJam is considering a dividend, they're going to then buy the stock at 12 and 13 and 14 and 15 to send it to 20?
Yes and no. I think that regardless of this incoming dividend, they're still going to be buying the stock. Like, even with the pension funds, they have their internal research team, and, those people that do analysis. One of my favorite YouTubers says analysis.
Which YouTuber is that?
His Matisse. He's a Chelsea YouTuber. Matisse.
I thought it was like a financial one.
No. I watch a lot of brain rot stuff, bro, and football and thing. I watch some financial podcasts, but it's just so funny to see all of that. But the point is, I do think that regardless of what this incoming dividend is, pension funds will still continue to buy, and will still continue to buy. And the fact that even in the budget earlier this year, there is more allocation for pension funds to be able to buy, I think it was local companies. Like, you can allocate more funds to buying local companies, or I think it was something like that in the budget. The budget this year, the budget debate and everything. There was a section of it where we looked at something with pension funds being able to have, I think they were able to buy more of the stock, but more stocks or more companies locally, not necessarily stocks, but I think it was more companies locally, that they could allocate more funds to it. So I'm not sure if that's also a knock-on effect of what we're seeing.
Was that, did that go into act now, or was that like more for the next time?
I need to actually go back into it, because it was a lot that came out with that budget debate. But I have a document.
I see something talking about private entities.
Yeah, it's probably private entities. Because I thought it just companies. I know it was just local companies. I'd have to look back and see. Let's see, budget debate. I have it. And where is my document? See, I'm glad I save a lot of these things, to be honest. I just need to find my document. But, I still think that this is definitely a company that pension funds would look at. And you think about it, which big investor loves infrastructure companies?
I guess you're saying Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. That guy loves a railroad. That guy loves infrastructure companies.
He also loves Google now.
True. But we do have a Google on our market. But yeah, you're right. Here we go. Speaker by, here's the breakdown. This is what Faval was saying. It was a pension fund reform. And it was private equity investment cap increasing from 5% to 7.5% of total assets, with 10% targeted by April 2027. Yes, so it's not public companies. This is private equity investment, but that could still translate to public companies as a knock-on effect, because if more pension funds are investing more into private equity, that could give them enough capital to be able to do the things that they want and eventually maybe list or so on. It's just more capital for a lot of private companies to list. And I remember them talking about
funds will buy it up to like $15-20 post this dividend.
Yeah, for sure.
So you
now,
think,
when you say post this dividend, am I talking in the next 3 months? No, not necessarily.
Not next next month, basically.
Yeah. Well, you said post this dividend. Post this dividend could be a year from now.
Well, yeah, sorry. I mean, immediately in this dividend cycle or whatever.
I don't know about $15-20. I'm still not 100% sure about where the stock will like. Where would I see it settling? Well, you see, my biggest thing is I don't necessarily think the dividend is the biggest thing or the biggest play at hand, even though it is a big thing though. Like company paying out more dividends and so on. I think there are other factors at hand with TransJam that might make it, that would take it to the $15, that would take it to the $20, we spoke about the Montego Bay Perimeter Road, and guys, if you want, we I don't know if we should link our previous episode, but we spoke about that in a bit more detail there in terms of them expanding the Perimeter Road. Well, there are delays. I remember there were delays recently.
Or do you remember when the last
that episode?
Well, I guess we could see if there's an update on that.
On the Perimeter Road?
Yeah, I feel like the last update I saw was maybe September this year. Which, wow, look at that. That'll be around the time that so you think that being announced, that's finished? The thing is, it's not like TransJam would put out a notice.
Because they wouldn't have necessarily gotten the
like there's going to be, I think, some amount of time license. Likely.
They would still have to bid to be able to operate on that whole leg of the Montego Bay Perimeter Road. Yeah, I do. I do. Because, I mean, I don't know. What's that other company? What's the company that operates North-South Highway? Can't remember it. I know China Harbor would have built it. I can't remember the company that specifically operates North-South Highway.
Check. I don't remember either.
Yeah.
JNS. Okay. Jamaica North-South Highway Company.
So, yeah. Well, thank you for a simple name. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Who owns it?
JNS.
Do you remember who owns it?
I think it's not Czech. Who owns it?
It's Chinese. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Our company was formed by, China Communications Construction Company. which is, I think, the Chinese government, if I'm not mistaken, or Chinese government owns a stake in that. Yeah, majority state-owned public. It's actually a public company. Interesting. I feel like we had looked at that at one point.
We did look at it, yeah. I actually remember you looking at it, and we had to go on to. Did you look at? Was it the Hong Kong exchange to look at the company? And I think you were looking at a lot of the stuff, because we're even talking about the lease, how long they had. It was like what the it was a concession agreement of what? It was a lot of years. It was more than 30. Was it 35 years? I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure they would also be bidding for the rights to the Montego Bay Perimeter Road.
I feel like it's so hard for them to beat them though, because what I understand is that I was looking at the map and I realized that they're doing that Montego Bay project where and it's like a multi-step project, because I think even what we're saying with that aspect of it, it's almost like that's just one part of that aspect in Mobay. Like there's a Barnes Road or some other Barnes Street and some other roads and stuff that they're gonna do. And then I think eventually what they want after they do the stuff in Mobay is like they want to then connect Mandeville to Mobay. So there's like a whole very long highway that they're gonna do there. And I'm like, yo, if TransJam already basically has that connection between like Kingston and Portmore side,
all the way
and
down
then
to
also the Mandeville side,
Mm-hmm.
Would it really make sense for them to have another company do the, if TransJam ends up getting the Mobay side, it'd be so much easier for, if TransJam would basically just do that connection and they could probably do like a much better price or offer versus the Jamaica North South Highway or whatever, or some other competitor coming in and doing that, because they already, it's like you already have, if you end up having both sides, you already have one side of it. If you do the far side, you can just do the middle to connect it.
Yeah.
So I feel like they would probably have one of the strongest offers, you know. And then it also, because I'm like, yo, the government sold us, the Jamaican people, a stake in this company, and then it's weird because I'm like, how do you? There's a term for it where you want to arm's length transaction, I think. Or like how, I'm wondering how that's gonna be structured, but yeah, I mean that's above my pay grade, yo.
You see, because I mean, I have to think about now who is even building that Mobay Perimeter Road, because check. So when I said check, I'm talking China Harbor
engineering company. Oh, they're doing it too?
Yeah, they're the one that hold the design build contract for the perimeter road itself. So they're already deeply involved in that project. So you know, I do see them probably bidding against them. I don't know. I mean, why wouldn't they want to bid against them? Because that's more revenues for them, you know. So maybe. I think it's still, it would still be because this is such a massive project either way, you know. Because if the aim is to connect the entire island, you know, just with highways, because we're even thinking about Kingston, after even made St. Thomas coming around to Portland. Hopefully none of those are actually toll roads. I don't like paying toll. I don't think anyone likes paying toll, you know. We'd own the business, but we wouldn't like to pay the toll, you get me? So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I would want TransJam to win just because I can buy TransJam, and then just to see what that would look like for the stock price of TransJam. We can't trade check. You know, it's a private company.
No, I think, well, check itself. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't outrightly buy even their parent company or so on. That whatever the company is listed on in China, I can't buy it at least.
Was it yens? What's the Chinese dollar or yuan or something?
It's not the renminbi or something like that.
Chinese yuan.
Yuan
or
renminbi, I think is, but I don't know how to pronounce
versus renminbi. Hold on. Closer linked terms. Renminbi is the official name, but the renminbi's principal unit is the Chinese yuan. So the renminbi.
Renminbi. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, apparently both names.
Renminbi. Wow, I've been saying it wrong this entire time.
Yeah. One of the other things I was actually thinking of is that you could use if you expected that when the Montego Bay whatever developments that they're doing there, if there's a toll that's charged there, and then if that were to be announced, similar to I guess how when it was announced that the Mandeville leg not just finished, but it was the rights to that were won by TransJamaica. I think there was likely like some excitement on that, and then also when you then later see the confirmation and the profits come in, blah blah. You could probably even do some sort of estimate in terms of when that would likely happen with this Montego Bay.
Road.
Yeah, or just the project, I guess in general. 'Cause I was saying that I think the Perimeter Road is a specific aspect of it. I don't think all of it is technically the Perimeter Road.
Yeah. It's not.
It's the Montego Bay.
It's so funny because they changed the design, for the Perimeter Road. So it was only supposed to be a certain. I remember they had to. I think the delays are because they had to get more money. Because just the contract value was risen. I remember it was risen by like almost 100 mil. I think they had to add another 100 mil because at first I think it was supposed to be just 2 lanes, but then it increased to 4 lanes and so on. And so I remember it being delayed earlier this year. Yeah, but I remember seeing also an article that it's pretty close to finishing. It was 85% complete the last I checked. And that was a couple months ago, June 2026. And I know they were targeting to complete the bypass. I don't know if you know Mobe, but there's you have the Mobe bypass, or like the West Green portion. That's supposed to complete around September 2026. But you have the expanded Long Hill bypass. That's supposed to be sometime next year that's supposed to complete. So it's for me, I mean, TransJam can only grow in a few ways because the business model is pretty simple. I think TransJam today can only grow in like 3 basic ways. 1, more traffic on the roads that it already operates. 2, higher toll rates. And 3, more kilometers of road under the concession, so they get more kilometers. So I think the third one that I say is it's potentially transformative because that increases the actual size of the business itself. We just got Williamsfield, which is the already expanded East-West network. Mobe could do it again, different area of the island, but Mobe could add it. Imagine if they said, all right, we're gonna expand from Mandeville to, I don't know, somewhere in Sainty. Imagine them bypass. I don't know how they'd bypass Spurtree, but if they can cut through Spurtree, that would be massive. Because I'd love to get to Negril in 2 hours, if I'm being honest. So, yeah.
How long does it take you now?
I don't think I can say that on air. Yeah. But how long is it supposed to take you? I think around 3 hours. Let me see. Kingston to Negril. 3 hours 48 minutes is what it should take.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while.
Oh yeah. Last year, I used to be in Negril like once a quarter. Now I don't think I've gone all year. It's been a long time. But yeah, it should take 3 hours 48 minutes. Imagine cutting that time down to like 2 hours. That would be crazy. So yeah, I mean, I still see TransJam as, even when I think about a long-term stock, that should be that's why I say grandfather portfolio. You buy it because this must keep, it's like one of those things where you think of people that their parents bought carb cement at $2 and $3 and just had it there for a long time. And now it's over $100. I think of TransJam in a similar light. Yeah, I definitely think of it in a similar light. So it's one of those longer term stocks that will be in my portfolio for a long time. Stocks that will be in pension funds for a long time because they're also thinking long term. You know, these short term fluctuations, yeah, they're nice and so on. I'm not really meddling them as much because I definitely think more long term for this kind of company. So, yeah.
All right. So it's you buying it at 12.
Hey, we'll see. I mean, I will. Grandfather portfolio, you know, definitely will be buying it at 12. Because if I buy it at 12, what do you think the price is next year this time? You know, you have to start to meds those things like, all right, when this Montego Bay Perimeter Road is done and so on, part of the pricing in stocks isn't what the company is making today. People price in future earnings. People price in expectations, the plans that the company may have, and so on. And so maybe sometime next year you hear, the government is planning to expand the Mandeville, and we're starting construction of a new leg, bypassing Spur 3. We're going from Mandeville to Black River, per se, or something like that. That would be game changing.
So can you explain that? Like, so how long does it take to go from Mandeville to Black River now?
For me, I think about an hour and 30 minutes, maybe.
And the road is bad quality, or what's the reason it takes so long?
The road isn't great. There's several reasons. One, you're driving through towns, so the speed limit drops. Like if you're driving through a town, the speed limit is like 50 maybe or so on. So when I'm going through like parts of gutters, etc., Goshen, that's all. Like some parts are 50, some parts are 80. It's not as, the speed limit on a highway is, in north-south highway is 110. So there's that. So you have to slow down. Then the roads are not great. Oftentimes it's single lane traffic too. So it's one going, one coming. So you're stuck behind. If you're stuck behind a truck, bro, there's nothing you can do on Spur 3. If you're stuck behind a truck in certain areas,
there's a lot of trucks in that area.
Definitely. I'll say like a lot of carb cement trucks. Right after Melissa, I would say a lot of other, infrastructure, wooden pallets going down. You see with Cinco, a lot of distribution trucks you'll see. So yeah, definitely a lot of trucks on that road for sure. And I guess Spur 3 is the fastest way for them to go. So they're obviously going to take that route.
But how many people do you think would really use that? Like, is that going to really materially move it for a company at their size? Like, they do like 100 mil in revenue.
So would it materially move it? Yes, but I wouldn't expect it to move it significantly. Like we're comparing, let's say there is let's call it the Spur 3 bypass or something, or I don't know what we'd call it, right?
So the government hasn't said anything about that, you're saying?
I'm not sure.
I
don't
think that there's
there's nothing definitive. Yeah, I think there's definitely a demand for it, but I don't think there's anything definitive. But let's say, for instance, sorry, I'm sick, guys, so I'm doing my best. Let's say, for instance, the government comes out with that, and they say, all right, we're looking at doing something like that. Wait, what was your question? If it would materially affect the company?
Yeah,
we're looking at that bypass. So we're bypassing Spur 3, but you're comparing that level of traffic, and let's say a toll booth is created for that. You're comparing that level of traffic to what currently exists for TransJam.
So I'm saying, okay,
Portmore is significant. Portmore is where they make most of their money, because look at the population size, right? You're coming into to and from Kingston. Kingston has almost like 1 million people. You know, Kingston and Portmore and so on definitely probably has more than 1 million people. So, when you think about that level of traffic, I don't think they necessarily can compare to that. But would it be significant enough to move revenues and profits? Definitely. Most definitely it would be.
Like, how much do you think it would increase their revenues by?
Maybe 10 to 15%.
So you think it would add 10 to 15 mil US from now?
From
like per year?
Now?
Well,
per year.
Sorry, as in, well, using 100 mil as the revenue that they do now or so, US. You're saying it would add, how much is Mandeville? How much is the Mandeville leg? You think it would add more than the Mandeville leg? I feel like the Mandeville leg is...
I think would it add more than the Mandeville leg?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess I'm using that as an anchor point.
That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure of the traffic.
I think they hinted at how much the Mandeville leg. So they say Maypen to Williamsfield, 3.5 mil. That was Q1. Wait, this is... Wow, I just realized the file, the financials are March 2026, but then at the top of the file, the name of the file has it as March 2021. But yeah, it says in that report, they say within the quarter, it added, oh, I love that they tell you the revenue. They said 3.5 mil. So 3.5 times 4, that's 14 mil. So you're saying you think it would
this is do around which period?
Maypen to Williamsfield, the Q1.
Q1.
So times 4 if it's a quarter. So basically it could add basically like 14 to 15 mil US in revenue. You think it would add more than that or less than that? Because I would use that probably as an anchor point and then say it would likely be less than 15. Yeah, I was actually looking at
because I don't know the traffic levels between Sainty and Manchester.
Yeah,
so I'm not
thinking
sure.
It's less. That's why I'm.
I don't know if it would necessarily be less though. That's my biggest thing. Because
so how many people live in Sainty versus
Manchester? I mean, Sainty is a much bigger parish, you know. Much bigger parish.
Isn't it more? Hold on, Saint Elizabeth. That should be public.
Yeah, likely. So I wouldn't confidently say that the Mandeville leg would generate more than Sainty.
So what is in Sainty?
Bro, a lot. Sainty is one of my favorite parishes.
Oh,
like Santa Cruz,
so
like
I see from
big town.
That in is saying. Let me see. So this is 2022 data. This says Sainty is 150k. Manchester is 190k.
Okay.
So it's a little
population.
40k more. There was something I was gonna show you.
I was doing
some Googling because there were some names you said and I saw it. Like this is something from the Jamaica Information Service. This was talking about the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. And they actually mentioned that some of the roads to be rehabbed include, and they say one of the roads that you were talking about, where is it? Spur Tree to Gutters.
Yeah,
Williamsfield to Greenvale via bypass. Luana to Black River to Scott. So they're already doing some amount of, I guess improvements don't mean that it still wouldn't be a highway, but...
No, it's not a highway. It's improving on the existing infrastructure. So it's already there. So even right now, that road, Spur Tree to Gutters and so on, yeah, that latter part before you get to that gas station, when you just come off a Spur Tree, that road needs some... I mean, they've been working on it. It's just not done yet. And I drove on that a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah. I don't know, man. I still think though, regardless of potential revenues, right? In terms of the getting down into the nitty gritty, the details, etc. The stock price can rise much more than, you know, the actual expected revenues from a new bypass. I'm just saying, if the prime minister at the next budget debate next year March says, you know what, guys, we're also thinking of, you know, Spark program, maybe not Spark program because that's fixing existing potholes or something. But let's say they say, all right, we're going to be, you know, we have a project and we're thinking of doing a bypass and connecting Mandeville to let's say Santa Cruz, for instance. How much do you think the stock price going to rise by? You think it's going to be proportional? Maybe that 10. Let's say we're talking now revenues in that leg. We're still going to call it the spur tree bypass, right? Revenues would be maybe what, 10% increase? Because we just saw that the Mandeville leg contributed how much percent? 12%. So let's say it's a little bit less. But let's be optimistic and it's 10%. And that's just revenues. Do you think the stock price would just raise 10%? Based on that news?
I mean, no, I wouldn't think so, because that just means that it's going to be built and then it's not TransJam taking on that expense. It could be, that will probably take at least a year, 2 years, and then eventually TransJam will do it. So I wouldn't expect that. I don't think it's as clear, like, for someone to go out and, I mean, if the price was rising on that, I wouldn't mind, because I'd be like, okay, maybe, you know, but
I think the price would rise just on that news alone, though. That's my thing. Because before anybody even hear that TransJam has won the bid to operate it and so on, I think the price would still rise just
Who
because
do you think will be buying that?
I think a lot of people will be buying that. Retail investors
so you
will be
think,
buying
but
that.
once again, you think me and you are moving the price of this? $200 million?
I think retail investors have a say, but no, not just us. That's why I said the biggest thing is really pensions, you know, bro. Pension funds, and it's not even necessarily just pension funds. A lot of different funds probably have TransJam in. Unit trusts probably have TransJam in their portfolio, you know. So it could be just other funds with a lot more capital than me and you and the average Jamaican are moving this. So, and then are people taking profits now? Maybe I think some people are taking profits now. I think it's gotten to that price where some people are taking profits. But demand is still clearly there. What?
Why do you say you think people are taking profits?
Look at, so the stock price traded as high as almost $13, and I think it went down. Let me find the candlestick on Friday. It went as low as $10.98. How I know people are taking profits? Because my brethren exit, and the man tell me how much millions him have.
Wow.
So I know the man say he sold. Let me find the chat
message.
Yeah. Big up who for big up him. He already knows himself. He said just exited TJH. Let's see.
Is that a person who regularly invests, or this is just someone who?
It's one of the Wall Street man them.
Oh, okay.
In the Wall Street group chat. Watch him out of TJH. Man said bingo. $12.85 exit. Can't ball. Yo.
So do you think that more people will start to do that then?
Maybe.
Do you think that could make people panic?
I mean, we have seen it before with other stocks, even like Fesco.
Well, even with TransJam itself.
And even with TransJam itself previously.
There have been times where, I guess people, I mean, it's a stock, so it can't always go up.
It's a stonk, so it's been just going up.
Yeah.
There's a difference between stock and stonk, you know. And TransJam is for sure a stonk.
I said to the moon.
Man. Yeah, to the moon. It's a diamond hands, bro.
To the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What a stonk.
Yeah.
But let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys think it will keep going up?
Are you buying TransJam at 12?
Or are you taking profits?
Or 13 or 14 or 15?
Let us know. We'd love to know. We'd love to know. But yeah, we've
Yeah,
called it
look
the
at it. In the
people's
last
stock
month,
for a
it's up
while.
50%. In 3 months, it's up 75%. 6 months, 104%.
Year to date, 160%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember, there was a, I think it was last year, there was an investor briefing for TransJam that I went to. And I had bought shares either on that day or I can't remember, it was maybe a few days before. And it was like on a account I don't really use as much. It was Moneyline.
Yeah.
And then I logged in recently. And then it's like I just saw it. I was like, it was up 160%. I was like, nah, I clicked sell, bro. I did click sell. I was like, nah, this nothing wrong with realizing some profits, bro.
You have to take profits, bro. You have to take. That was like me and my first stock week done. I'll never forget that because up basically 100%. I just click sell immediately. I was like, yo, profits. Green is green.
So you don't worry that could happen with TransJam?
What?
At 12, like you don't think that some people who are sitting in this from $3, $4, $5, $6, and it's up this much, they're like, yo, because even now it's not like one of the things that I don't know if we got to touch, like if you look at the dividend yield, even though nominally it looks like, yo, it's paying out millions of dollars in dividends, which is good. That's completely true. And if you look at, like, say, the offer for sale price, if you use that as a basis, people who bought at 360, they already paid out 1 dividend for the year, and then they usually pay out 2. And you can probably do some sort of estimate. I think, trying to see, I think I had an estimate because the one that they paid out this year, earlier this year, was 0.165 per share. So I think that they will at least do that. So for the total year, you're probably looking at 30 cents or something like that in dividends. And last year they did about 25 cents. So you're looking at 33 cents in dividends, which is really good, you know. But if you bought at 360, that's an amazing yield. That's you at like 9% on your money. So you buy, that's like you put in 100,000, you're getting back 9,000. Well, I guess you have to take off taxes or whatever, but you're getting back, you put in 100,000, you're getting back 8,000. But I guess now at the $12, it's not like a super high yield. You know, it's actually not so high. So it's like, yeah, I don't know.
No, you're right.
I guess the yield is, in the past, I felt like the yield was still quite high at the prices it was trading at. So there was almost like a cushion, but now it's like the yield isn't as crazy, you know, to the current market price, I guess, if I'm making sense. So you're right. Buying at 360, amazing, but at the $12, it's not, you know, that good. And then on the dividend itself, it would probably be like, I don't know, 1%. How much do you think?
I don't know. The yield earlier this year was 1.38%. So yeah, it'd probably be another
1.5% or something.
Probably max 1.5%.
So that's why I was like,
at $12.
If it gets announced that, hey, we're considering a dividend, and then the share price is flying like 20%, up 20%, 30%, I would be like, why would I not sell if I expect that the dividend is gonna be? And then when it then comes out, people are then disappointed, and then you can then buy it back. I don't know. That's not tempting to you.
Disappointed. But I get
you. Hold on. If the price is at $12 now, they announce we're considering a dividend, the share price flies up to $15. You don't think that would be disappointed when they announce that, that the dividend yield is going to be 0.5% on $15?
I think no one's going to be disappointed because no one's medsing it like you're medsing it with dividend yield. I think people are going to be excited. Oh, my money gone up, and oh, I'm going to get a dividend too. I mean, you know, I don't think people are medsing I'm talking now retail investors. I don't think most retail investors meds dividend yield, you know, and I don't actually think that's a thing.
So what do they meds then?
I think most retail investors are actually also meds in the capital gains that they've made, because they're looking at the stock price going from. I don't hear people talking about dividends when I look on Twitter. I see people talking more about how much money they've made as the stock price has gone up and so on. But I'm not hearing a lot of people, an overwhelming majority of people talking about dividends. They're more talking about capital gains, and fair play to them. Because if the stock goes from $12 to $15, that's way more money than if the dividend is 1.5%. Like, okay, cool, 1.5%. That's nice. I can probably take myself out to dinner, or buy a box food or pay a bill or something like that. I think that's what most people.
Hold on, your dividends paying you 1% can make you take yourself out to dinner?
Yeah, like a BK, bro.
Oh, that's okay. That's what you call. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna reveal how much money I'd make from dividends, but pretty sure. I need to actually check on that. The dividend, some dividend stuff. I'll do some calculations after.
Have you looked at the queue? I haven't looked at the queue. The sell queue. So there's way more demand than supply. I'm seeing 700. Let me show it on screen. The queue is so large that it's lagging my computer a bit, or it's not fully responsive as usual. The supply, there's 726. I'm looking here, 726 buy orders, 139 sell orders. There's 34 million units in the buy queue, 16 million units in the sell queue. There's 324 million units in the buy queue. $324 million in the buy queue. $266 million in the sell queue. The average price in the sell queue is $17.94. The average price in the buy queue is $9.31. The average order value in the buy queue is $446K, and the average sell order is at 1.9 million. Wow.
I see. Wow.
Yeah. How much you say Brethren sold at?
$12.85.
Oh.
Jumped right out at $12.85.
Well, I'm not gonna show that.
I could probably see his orders because it was at
that sounds like I'm not gonna show that.
Yeah.
I could watch his pocket, yo.
What's one of those stocks to watch, I guess. We've been watching it.
Just watch?
I mean, yeah.
You said you still have units, so.
Yeah, I still have units.
Yeah.
So definitely still have
units. You say you go buy at 12, right?
Yeah, I'll swing car some money and buy at 12.
So should I buy at 12?
I mean, what's your purpose of buying? Because I think there are things that can still move more now at this price in terms of, well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess there are some things if we're looking at the market. There's some stuff that have been oversold,
Cool.
I see everybody dumping Atlantic shares. Woodcats is 61 cents. There's so many stocks that I think. Yeah. Wait, I'm just looking at a few things now. There are opportunities on the market that I'd have to really look in and capital. Wow, Learn is at 16 cents. That's crazy. I was looking at even JSE, bro. Look at JSE. Have you seen JSE's price? $8.85.
Yeah. I think I see Bridgen's order. Wow. Okay. Wow.
JSE stock price. JSE, I think, is oversold.
A joke. Don't say it. Yeah. Do you think I should buy at 12?
If I think you should buy at what price? Sorry.
12.
I don't know what you plan to do with your money. Is this like me, like a grandpa portfolio, or? Is this a quick flip or so on?
No, grandpa.
Grandpa? Why not?
So you don't see it dropping below 12 in the next, but before the end of the year?
Maybe, it might. And it has. Like on Friday, it went down to $10 something. So that's why I said people are taking profits. So it's in that weird transitional phase now. But you see, because my goal for TJH has never been something short term, I don't know what I'm not really medicing it short term like that. Like, yes, there's some things that can bump up the price. Yes, people can sell and take profits and so on. If I was looking at TJH a bit more with like a microscope, then maybe I could do better predictions. But if we're talking grandpa portfolio, I think in the next 5 years, you're looking at least a $20 stock. So, yeah, I would say, yeah, why not buy now,
All right.
It would have nice if Ivan forward and we tell him for split the stock, Split that. Split the stock. That would be so cool.
I prefer the reverse stock split, actually.
What do you mean? For the listeners.
So they cut down the amount of shares outstanding. And then it has like a higher nominal value.
Why would you prefer that?
Because I think, like, basically they could do it, like, say at $10, they do, what would that be? 1 to 10. So essentially you would have 10 times less shares. So if you have 1,000 shares at $10, which would equal, so that's like a 10K, you'd have 100 shares at $100.
Still 10K.
Yeah, still 10K. Because then I think it would be, I'm wondering if it would change the opinion of like retail investors. And then, like, because maybe I know that some people, when they hear larger nominal values, they're like, oh, yo,
yeah, you wouldn't buy TransJam at $100
stock or a $200 stock. And then maybe that could cause the share price to fall.
I agree.
And then the dividend yield would get better. And so you could have something that's, yeah. Basically, I think it could.
So you are a dividend investor now?
It's just interesting, though, because then when I look at it, because there's a lot of shares outstanding. So I don't know if a split would really. It's already so liquid, too. You think that you'd really want a split?
Yeah.
Or a forward stock split?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think the market loves splits. A reverse split would probably kill a lot of people's gains.
Well, if they're in it, yeah, I guess. Well, I guess it depends.
Still a psychological.
At 12.
Yeah, it's still a psychological thing. You're right. Once the nominal value is a bit too high, I have realized that it's like I was saying. Look at Guardian, right? Guardian's a pretty profitable company. Guardian pays out, I think. Are they the best dividend?
I've had dividends now than TransJam. Well, probably for a while.
Definitely. And their PE is what
price is it now?
$359.
Nah, buy no $300 stock, bro.
Yeah. I hear people saying that.
360 then.
But the yield at these prices, 5% for the year, 7.8% last year. Definitely doing way better than TransJam in terms of dividends. So if you're a dividend investor, this just make more sense. But you're not gonna get those cap gains with Guardian. So
depends though, because I guess you have not just looking at the yield, but I guess looking at the predictability of the business. With the insurance business, I feel like sometimes you can have that. Like you look at something like a Guardian with a hurricane. Yes, I don't think Beryl or Melissa hit them that bad because I think they had some cushions and stuff for that, but they could have if there was a years of a serious hurricane, bam, that hits them out pretty tough. Versus, I mean, yes, I guess TransJam with a hurricane, but it's more an earthquake. I guess you'd probably more want to worry about with TransJam. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. A lot to consider, man. All I am grateful for though is I really am grateful that the stock has performed pretty well. I think a lot of Jamaicans, not just me, I'm talking just for the overall market, because I think the perception of the market has not been that great. You know, there have been, suspensions, there have been, fraud, I would say, in some of the companies, so it's like a breath of fresh air. And the fact that TransJam is one of those, for lack of a better term, ubiquitous stocks, meaning it's one of those stocks that was heavily marketed. A lot of people invested in it. A lot of Jamaicans, there are a lot of people that have TransJam in their portfolio. I think there's psychologically, it does something for the market, meaning it gives people a reason to hope that, I can make more money because this stocks thing actually can work. You get me? Like, that's the reason I invest. That's the reason you invest, because we've seen what the stock market has done for us. And I hope that translates to a lot of other Jamaicans as well. Just get more people in the market, get more people optimistic about the market, get more people investing, because that, to me, is the true path to wealth. So I'm happy that it's a stock like TransJam that has done this for the market. And I think it just bodes well long term. Makes me even more excited for the micro market, because for me, there's just way more opportunities as well to invest in different companies. So yeah. Any final thoughts you want to leave with the people, Preston?
No, I mean, just keep investing, guys,
Keep investing. Yeah. Another one to watch, eh? Thank you guys for being here on the podcast. Let us know and show us some love. Please like and subscribe. We drop videos like this every single Friday. So we'd really appreciate your support. And we thank you for your support. I mean, if you're here now, I've always thought about the listener. How are you guys listening for an hour? Right? It's like, I always think about that, because my attention span, even the podcasts I love, I split them up. Even my favorite podcast. One of my favorite podcasts is actually the Waveform podcast. I don't know if you know Waveform, MKBHD.
Yeah, watch like one or two. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been into tech recently, so it's like it takes me a whole week to get through that. So you guys that watch this week in, week out, we really appreciate you. So show us some love. Show us some love in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, and just stay limitless.
Peace.